Hey, good afternoon. How y'all doing? It's Well Red Beard. It is a damn fine day to talk about a book, and today we are here for a book review. We're going to talk about From Day One, a Year 47 Omnibus. This is part anthology, part novel, all apocalypse, and it's the biblical apocalypse. It's um, the fictional account of what would happen if the things that are described in Revelations in the Bible actually happened. And we get day zero all the way up to year 47. So, initially it starts with almost like news broadcasts, blurbs about this and that, about what has happened, about the catastrophes and the destruction that's being, witnessed across the earth. And we start with little stories about different groups of people during these different times. And again, day zero all the way to year 47. The first half of the book reads like an anthology. Everyone has written a story. Everyone has chosen where their story would take place in the timeline. But there's S.E. Casey's in here, Anya Stanley, Leo X. Robertson, Bo Chappell, of course, Charity Langley, Lachlan Watt, A.A. Medina, Bailey Hart, Anya Stanley, and some of them come back. S. Alessandro Martinez. Some of them come back and write like a second piece, and so on and so forth. I remember really, really liking the A.A. Medina story, the Martinez story. I remember being a big fan of the I think it was Charity Langley and Anya Stanley parts, as well as the Bo Chappell short story. And then we get all the way to year 47 and we get a novel. It is, how long is the novel portion of it? Looks like page 288 all the way to 536. So, my math is off, but like a 250 page novel towards the end of this. And so, it's broken up by year leading up to year 47. And again, I said you get almost like newscast about what's going on, kind of like in a staccato, almost like I don't know, broadcaster delivered type message. And then you get like a story, and that's, and then it'll break to like another year. And so you do get, see if I can find an example of that. You do get like these large, page breaks that are kind of cool. As far as telling us, here we go. Here's one. I got one right here. As far as telling us when the next year, so there we go. There's year 6, and we go like that throughout. Now, one thing I will say, I don't think that Bo has any control over this, but the pages were coming out of this book, and I'm hoping it was fixed. Before the real version, because this is an ARC version, but without much effort at all, I had a lot of loose pages, and you can kind of see them there. But anyway, so pages were coming out, which kind of made the reading process slightly difficult. No big deal. Yeah, it's really, really cool. There's angels and demons, and of course the whole idea that initially we've still got news, and I'm sure that law enforcement and social norms kind of immediately started to slip, but things are still fairly normal. At least there's still food to eat, still grocery stores to salvage and things like that. And then we move past deeper and deeper into this story, and the news reports stop, and the grocery store shelves are bare, and survival is an entirely different thing. And we have people that weren't even alive when the main event happened, and we have generations of people that were born into this post-apocalyptic world. And then you kind of get to the place where you watch society rebuild itself into this new thing, almost and that's kind of like where the Wild West feel comes from. Again, limited law enforcement, get away, it's about survival, and you can get away with pretty much anything you want. And we settle into this, and so again, we meet a lot of characters, a lot of little storylines along the way to tell us how things are, and to help us watch this world devolve and at least attempt to recreate itself into this new existence for human beings. But I think I already said this, that there's angels and demons and religious relics, and there's the four horsemen of the apocalypse: war, plague, pestilence, and I always draw. I did this earlier when I talked about this book before. I always draw a blank on that last one. Anyway, but just really cool to see those types of things. The things that probably filled my nightmares as a child. Come to life in a book that I now sit here and read as a 45-year-old man. I thought it was cool, and it's big, and you could feel. It's not just an anthology. It's not just reading hundreds of stories to pick 20 to go in. I mean, there was effort, there was arrangement, there was a choreography almost to it all, of fitting it all together, and then there was the effort that Bo actually wrote a novel's worth of material to kind of close this thing out. And now, when we get to that point, we're following a man and a girl across the barren landscape of what is left in post-apocalyptic United States, and they're really just trying to survive. And there is this theme of going home, of getting this little girl home, of getting her back to her family. I mean, even though the odds of that family still existing, the odds of that family still being there are very, very slim. I mean, the odds are seriously stacked against our main characters, but and so in that, there were feelings of the road. There are, of course, it had a bit of feelings of post-apocalyptic, Walking Dead stuff, where it's the humans, it's the surviving humans that you really have to watch out for. So, it's part zombie story because, one of the parts of Revelation is that let me turn that down real quick, is that the dead will rise. And so the dead rise, and so there's, I think they call them the broken, but there's these zombie-like things everywhere. And at one point, the doors of heaven and hell are sealed. So there's layers and layers upon death, right? Someone dies, they become a zombie. You put them down, their soul has nowhere to go. So now they're like this ghost-like thing. There's I guess the host of heaven and hell have poured out and are constant threats. And again, like I said, the four horsemen of the apocalypse, there's just all these different things. And then you've got the humans to worry about, and one big part of it, we end up in this Wild West town of prostitution and gambling and substance abuse and just I guess almost a filthy semblance of existence of what's left of what one has to do to survive. And we're just moving along, trying to get her home. And the things that there's some big fight scenes, a really, really dramatic, epic battle scene at the at the end of this. I don't want to really go too much into telling you what it was, but it was exciting and it was fun. And again, this thing felt heavy. I felt the weight of it. I felt it didn't feel like your average book. It felt big and thick and deep. It has nothing to do with House of Leaves, but that type of a thing. Like you felt the work, the effort that went into making this thing. So I really liked it. Again, I love biblical horror. I was raised in that shit, and my nightmares were fueled by some of those things. But Revelations in a fictionalized format, definitely fun all the way through. I will say that when I broke out of what was like the anthology part and got into Bo's novel, like initially, it took me a couple chapters to really like kind of to kind of change my flow, change the way I was reading this thing. But once I did, the novel part was really, really good. So I'm probably at 4 stars on this. It was definitely cool and original and fun and horrific, and I think I think all horror readers will enjoy it. This is from day one, a year 47 Omnibus Bo Chappell, and many, many others. And that's it. This is Well Read Beard. This has been my review. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you're enjoying all your books as much as I am. If not, you're reading the wrong damn books.